Hello and welcome back to my channel and welcome to this week's edition of Sketch Sunday, where Crystal from Pineapple Papers and I take on or revisit Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, her 30 Days of Sketches series. And this week we have a special guest, Roni. She's Roni Sue Scrapper here on YouTube. Roni chose our sketch and she will be joining us this week, so her link will be down below along with Crystal's and of course the link to Christy's channel. So this week's sketch comes from series 2, day 4, and it's a fun sketch. If you can see here, it's sort of one of the, oh, there you go. See, every time I do a sketch lately, I figured something that I've missed or that I added that wasn't there. And I just noticed here that this sketch, it's sort of like a nice little mirrored image, which is always fun. But then there's some pattern paper on top of another pattern paper askew. And I did not see that. Well, but in any case, I went totally off the rails with this one anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. So I started off well, but this is where we wound up. And you know what? I kind of love it. But you know, I sort of totally missed this lovely angle. And that would have been lovely to just sort of angle that. It would have been perfect, but I just noticed it now. Sometimes, I swear, last week I added a heart where there was no heart because it was for my Instagram liking. And this week we missed a whole sort of basic design element of the sketch. Anyway, so I think, and this sketch is from Laura Whitaker. I love Laura Whitaker's sketches. So I started off quite well. I had 2 photos, and if you can see here, I sort of cut this one in 2. So this was over here, and it was a larger photo. And I started with wanting a cardstock background because I decided I wanted to use my stencil, the stencil that I'm using in January, this stencil from Vicky Boutin, and I wanted to use colored cardstock because in the Freeze Gang, we're trying to use and focus a little bit on some colored cardstock for the month of January. That was Karen's product focus for the month. So I started with that idea and then wanting to do the stencil so that it wouldn't be just a very plain background. So I just used some basic white texture paste and did it in the 2 areas. And then I had some of the 6x6 paper. This comes from an older basic gray collection. It was Aspen Frost, and I have that in my Christmas basket because, as you can see, this will be going into my generic Christmas album. So I cut the strips of paper and did the fishtails so that I would have the basic design. So that was lovely. I got that down, and so far so good. We're respecting the sketch. And matted this photo here so that it would go here. And again, that was kind of perfect. But then I got down to this area and I matted the photo. And then when I did the layers and the matting of the photo and put it here where it belonged, it was massive. The photo was way too big and it hid everything that I had done. So that got me thinking. And then I said to myself, okay, well, what am I going to do? So I cut the photo in half after it was all the layers and the mats were there, and thought, now what, how can I place the photo? And I came up with this sort of idea. So that's what I went with. And then originally what my idea here is, as you can see, a little bit of a then and now, because what this layout is about is how much I used to watch the Christmas Hallmark movies a lot. And I do love the Christmas Hallmark movies, But over the last couple of years, I have really been into watching December documented, December dailies, journal your Christmas videos, and they seem to have been taking up a lot more of my viewing time. And in fact, this year, I did not watch one single Hallmark movie and did watch quite a few of the December dailies. So I put here two of my favorites. I watch a lot of the December documented. Of course, I watch all of Chamel's Journal Your Christmas videos. I watch Nicole Jones 911. But two of my favorites are definitely Kelly Oblak and my friend Sandy Reversky, State Goddess, here on YouTube. So I took screenshots of their playlist so that I could put that photo here. When I first decided that I was going to do this page, I already decided I was going to go a little bit rogue because I wanted to do a then and now, that I would go a little bit rogue and sort of fill in this spot with some stitching, which I did. So I had a template that I had just printed off, I think at some point on my computer, just a word, a clip art or something that I found on the internet, poked all my lovely little holes, and then yesterday afternoon I sat down, relaxed, watched a video, and stitched this ampersand, which I loved. So I had my stenciling, my bannered pieces of paper, the photos, and my stitched ampersand. That was the basis, I should say, of my layout. And then I decided on the title, which fit perfectly. And I had, now that you see there are some circular elements here, and I had on my desk left over from the layout I did for Everyday Inspiration this past Wednesday, I had some of these lovely little scribble swirls left with the dies that I had cut, and the colors were sort of perfect. So I thought, well, there you go. I'm just going to tuck those in for the circular elements, and I loved it. So I tucked those in, got my title down with these lovely glittery white thickers, and put some journaling. I used to love to curl up and watch a Hallmark movie. They have largely been replaced by DD for December Documented or December Daily and JYC videos. Just a fun little layout to get into that generic book, to look at some of my viewing habits throughout December. And then I went in, because I wanted to just doll it up a little bit more, since this was pattern paper and mine was not. And I got this fun sequin mix from Spiegel Mom Scraps called Winter's Mist. And as you can see, if I do a little bit of a close-up, these are fun and gorgeous little snowflakes. So I just got a whole bunch of those out, scattered them all along the diagonal, and I found that that was just the perfect little finishing touch, so that the colored cardstock does not look just sort of glaring in your face, and it finishes it off. So there you go. So that is my rogue take on this week's sketch, but I love it. What do you think? What are your December viewing? Are you a Hallmark movie watcher? YouTube December dailies? The other thing I often do in December is find a series on either Netflix or BritBox or Acorn, and I watch a TV series also. So what are your viewing habits as you're getting ready for the holidays? Leave me a comment down below. Make sure you pop on over, of course, to Crystal's channel to see her awesome take. I bet you she got this right. Her awesome take on today's sketch. I think maybe Christy was hoping to be able to play along for this one. And Roni, of course, played along, and her video will be linked below. So enjoy our videos, and we will see you all again next week. Thanks for being here. Bye.